This is intended to be a demo of Hex Colors for Section 1 of CS1 Fall 2025. Transylvania University, I better get going. I'm not going to have any time. First, want to get to idle. I'm going to start where Section 2 left off so that the videos fit together. I apologize for that, but I'm going to start with the demo program we ended up with for them. So I'm going to open idle, or so I claim. And it kept my font nice and big and bold. Open. And it never goes back to this right place. Examples. Okay, here we are. Nice big print. But when we ran this at the end of Section 2, you can see what we ended up with in Section 2. When we run it, there we go. They didn't have an ellipse hanging off the top of the screen. They had a ball sitting on the bottom of the screen. What I'm going to try to do, and when you click it, it says let's play ball rather than ellipse or anything like that. I'm going to try to do multiple circles, and try is the operative word here. I'm going to try to do multiple circles, and I want them to be all different colors, and I want to specify the colors hexadecimally. And Santa, that is all I want for Christmas, I swear. So we'll see if we can get this off the ground. For multiple circles, and I said whether or not it was actually accurate. Oops, I need to see line numbers. I don't know why. They're my security blanket. There. What did I say? Here we just got one circle. And the way we did the circle, this is review for me as much as it is for you. We make a point object. We tell a circle object to make itself with center point P. And in this case, it was height divided by 4. I think that was so that the entire ball was half as tall as the screen, if I recall. And set width as a symbolic constant. Thickness, pink and orange. I'm going to start right there. Just dive in head first. The way you specify colors hexadecimally in Python is as strings with a pound sign and then followed by a string of 6 hexadecimal digits. So if I want this to be bright red, and I do, because that's an easy color to remember, red, and then green is zeros, and blue is zeros. Let's pause and reflect on that for just a second. I've specified, instead of a nice color word like pink or black or gray or whatever, I specified the color to be pound sign FF0000. And if you wonder why I put that there, set fill is expecting to get a color name. And instead of a name, I used a color code, and shut up and run, or we'll run out of time. And that is bright red. What other colors are easy? Well, green and blue are easy. Do you want a green outline or a blue outline? Blue, red, green, blue. So we want 0, 0 for red, 0, 0 for green, and FF for blue. And if we do that, it should be a red circle with a blue outline. Ta-da! And if we don't get anything else accomplished today, we did get that, for crying out loud, which is a lot more than we got done in video on Wednesday. Now, I said multiple circles, and I meant it. I don't want to have to do all of this stuff again. So, when you don't want to do stuff again, you put it in a loop. And I want 3 circles for no particular reason, but 3 is a nice small number, and it's still enough that we can see the variety. For I in, help my aging, failing memory, how can I make this loop 3 times like that? Is that it? No, that can't be right. That's the first thing I said. Has anybody done it enough, or do you have an airtight memory enough, a bulletproof memory enough you remember how we can do a for loop 3 times? Remember where the cursor is right now has to be a list, and we can get the library to generate a list for us if we type in range. Range. And I almost typed a 3, and it was like stepping on a copperhead on a trail, and something stops you and you don't put your foot down. I am not going to type a 3 there. I'm going to type circles. Why would I do that? Well, I might want more than 3 circles in the future, or I might want fewer. I just have an aversion to putting literal values in a program, so shoot me. Well, don't do that. Circles equals 3. There, yes, I'm much more comfortable with that. Now, is this going to draw 3 circles and wait for a mouse click after each one? Let's try it and see. Run module. Away we go. Red paragraph of death. Expected an indented block after the 4. What's it trying to tell? Well, actually, it's doing a pretty good job of telling me. What did it say? Did anybody read the message before I made it go away? What did it want after this 4 statement? Indentation. It wants a statement block. You can't be a loop if you don't have a statement block. I want all this stuff. I want all this stuff to be inside a statement block, and I can highlight all of it and go to Format, Indent Region. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we've got ourselves a statement block for the for loop, and it'll loop 3 times. Run module. Okay. First time through the loop. Second time through the loop. Third time through the loop. Mission accomplished. Except all 3 of those circles looked suspiciously similar. How can we see the circles differently? We can change the location of the circle each time we go through the loop. To do that, we're going to have to change either the x-coordinate or the y-coordinate or both. I think since we got a lot of wiggle room back and forth, I'm going to change the x-coordinate. So I'm going to start by putting a variable here and say circle x. Circle x, which is spelled circle x, equals, and I tried to indent it and it didn't do it. Pay attention to me, please. I've had a rough week. I'm talking to Python, not to you. Actually, I'm talking to idle. Talking idly. I'm going to start it at width. I'm going to start it at width divided by 4. And I'll try that and see if that works first. Baby steps. Will it work with my variable? Circle x. Run module. Yes. So it only went over 1/4 of the way on the screen rather than half the way on the screen. Click, 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 and it drew all of them exactly the same. I don't want them to all be exactly the same because I can't see them. So what I can do, watch what I can do. After I draw it on the screen, I can move x, circle x, not caps lock, heavens. Circle x equals circle x plus some motion to the right. Let's move over width divided by 4. So it should go to width divided by 4 and then width divided by 2, which is halfway, and then 3/4 of the way. Listen to me talking as if I know what I'm talking about. I don't have any idea. That's what I'm planning on. That's what I would like to see happen. We'll see if that happens. Okay. Exactly the way I planned the first time. Yes, I knew exactly what I was doing. Did you ever doubt it? Did everybody see what happened there? I almost want to stay and just sort of fawn over my wonderful work here, but we have other work to do. That's not a very good demo of colors because every one of them are the same color. Now, put on your thinking caps this late on a Friday morning. How can we change the color every time we go through the loop and draw a different circle? In other words, I don't want every single circle to be solid red, bright red, with a blue outline. I just don't. I don't want it. How can we make this change every time we go through the loop? I'm having a flashback of, I think it's women's basketball. And we changed the team we talked about every time we printed out a message about their wins and losses. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? What did we use as we went through a loop to change the team we were talking about every time we went through? A list? Let's try a list. I'm tempted to call it Christmas list, but no. Colors! equals. And as long as I've only got 3 circles, I only need 3 colors. I'm going to try red, green, blue. Those are the obvious. Red is FFOOOO. Green is $OOFFOO. And blue is, you guessed it, OO. And I'm saying O, but I mean 0. Of course, you know by now there's a big difference between a 0 and an O. At least to Python there is. Now then, I've got 3 colors, ideally red, green, blue. How do I make the color change every time I go through my loop now? Well, this is called hard coding. When I put the actual string in there, I don't want to hard code. I want to use my symbolic constant. Colors, is it plural? I don't even remember. Yes. Colors, which color do I want to see the first time through? Color number what? Does anybody remember the index numbers? 0. I want to see color number 0. Will that fix it? Why won't that fix it? It still doesn't change. That's not any better than what we had before. That's going to use color number 0 out of the list and leave the rest of the list alone throughout the entire execution. What can I put here that makes the color change every time I go through the loop? I is going to be 0. Let's review. Circles is 3, if I recall. Range 3 is the list 0, 1, 2. So when this for loop executes, it'll go through one time with I equal to 0, which is the index of color red. Then it will go through with I equal to 1, which is the index of color green. It goes through one more time with I equal to 2, which should be the index of color blue. Again, it makes me nervous to sound so confident when I don't know if this will work right. Uh-oh. Oh, it's just slow. Okay, moment of truth. I did it. Wow, I don't see any outline over here. The color and the outline are the same. But does everybody see what happened there? It changed the color of the circle every time we went through. Now, all of a sudden, I'm feeling overconfident, and I don't like having the outline the same color every time I go through. How can we change the outline color every time we go through the loop? I'm going to set outlines up here. OUTLINES. And the cool thing about these hexadecimal colors, every single different 6-digit hexadecimal number you can dream up is some color, including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including pound sign A, B, C, D, E, F. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yes. And including pound sign, I've run out of ideas. 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. There. I don't know what colors those are, but those are colors. Now, is that going to do it? Are we ready to roll? What needs to change? We've got to set the outline to a different color every time we go through the loop as well. So instead of being a hard-coded color, this has got to be outlines I. Does everybody understand why we're putting I in square brackets there? Every time we go through the loop, we want to choose a different number out of the list. We use the first number, the first weirdo hexadecimal number the first time, then the second one the second time, third one the third time. And if I had time to do 10 colors, we could set circles to 10 and draw 10 different color circles all over the screen. Now, let me see if I didn't break anything yet. That is such an ugly outline color. And that's a different one, and that is still, those are all gray. Okay, shades of gray. I could claim that I meant to do that, but I didn't. I didn't know what colors they were going to be. All I know is they were now different colors. Whoops. Get mouse in closed window. Let me try that again. Okay, I'm clicking the mouse now. 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 It's waiting for me to click the mouse. And if I close the window, that's what gives me the red paragraph of death. It's waiting for a get mouse before it officially closes everything and closes the graphics window and closes up the shop and goes home. So I click inside the window and it doesn't get upset. It does not yell red paragraph at me. Who has a question about what we've done so far? The reason I say so far is because we aren't done. We haven't even scratched the surface of all the different colors we could use. And we're not going to be able to if Google doesn't open up Chrome for me. I'm tired of waiting. Let me see. What could I possibly search for to find out about Hex Colors? Maybe Hex Colors. It doesn't say how many. There are probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. All of these are hexadecimal color sites. This one looks interesting. It's like a brick wall with an advertisement. Yeah, I don't like that. Go away. I want one that's more straightforward. But all of these are trying to show you that they know hexadecimal colors, how to get the hexadecimal codes of colors in Google Sheets. So if you wanted to match the color to Google Sheets, I'm looking for there it is. Look at this. Look at how they specified the colors. Pound sign FFFF up. Look at that up here. That's a white and pound sign O. I didn't even look at this beforehand. Pound sign solid zeros all the way across is black. And all the others, you could look at these, you could pretty much predict. Look at this one. It's got two non-zero digits up front that are not real high, really, in hexadecimal land. So that's a really dark red. And you can kind of pick out your color scheme. You can invent colors and see what they look like, or you can come up with your own standard color palette and design a color scheme, a color theme for your graphics application for Program 3, Project 3. Does anybody have a question about what this table is trying to tell us here? Pardon me. This is exactly what I was talking about on the wall before we opened it up. That's still not what I'm looking for. Maybe I've searched wrong. Oh, here's what I'm looking for, a picker. That's what I should have searched for. There are some websites, you just make up a number and type it in, and it shows you what it is. Look at this. Look at this. Here I go. Let me type it in. I want to do it. Oh, I don't want to see the ad. Holy moly. Get out of here. Okay. Well, it's not even going to let me type. That was just a tease. But I know what to search for now. Hex color. Part of this is Windows 11. So far, I am not impressed with Windows 11. It makes some apps, even like Microsoft Word, just freeze up sometimes. And I know it's Windows 11 because it did not do that with Windows 10. Color picker. Well, it can't be that easy, can it? Hex. Let's try it. Someone give me a 6-digit hexadecimal number that will be an exotic, deep color, but it's mainly green. Start rattling off some hex digits for me. 4, 1. That's not an awful lot of red. 6, 7. Ugh. Couldn't you come up with a better green than that? But you can invent any number you want, and it shows you what your color is. I want one that is even more intense green. Well, 6, 7, I can do something like AB. That's going to be a lot more. And then 4, 4. And that's not a whole lot more intense, but you get the idea. You can go to these websites and try out your own homemade color scheme and, like I said, come up with a theme. You can have a unified theme for all the different colors you want to use. Maybe you use Brady Bunch, avocado and rust and sunshine yellow and all that sort of stuff, or maybe from your favorite video game. But it's even showing me where this fits on this green color spectrum over here. If I move that around, it shows me not only what the color looks like when I move it around, I wanted a brighter green. It shows me what the hexadecimal value is down here. So you can pick the color first, and then it will tell you what the hexadecimal code is. And look at all the different ways. Here's the hexadecimal code. Here's the intensity in RGB decimal values. I can't read those, but I think it's 38, 222, which is a lot of green, and 43. Let's do one more. Let's do one. Blue has been neglected. Let's do one that is primarily blue, but a little bit of spice mixed in with it. Help me out here. And the room goes quiet. 1, 2, 3, 4, FF. That is a bright blue on my screen, even brighter than on the big screen. And look, it's way up here top. It's way up top because I typed in FF. That's the maximum blue component you can get. The others are not maxed out. But there's all kinds of stuff you can do here. This one's actually pretty good. And I don't even think that this went to a website. I think this is just part of what we get with Google Chrome. Maybe that's part of the AI. Does anybody have any question about how you can find out your very own hexadecimal color scheme online that you will want to use in your Project 3 when you come up with color schemes and lists of colors and for loops of your own? That was all one question, a paragraph question. Okay, do I need to leave this open any longer? Then I won't. Close that down, and here we are. Does anybody have any question or comment? Let's run this one more time and see if anybody has any what-ifs about it. It's waiting for a mouse click. I'm about to do the mouse click, and it's, oh, those are still the ugly colors. I went to that color picker for nothing. Bunch of grays. Oh, well, you can make a fancier version yourself. I am going to email this code. Probably not until after the second class period. They might do something a little different. But does anybody have any question about any part of what we've looked at in graphics so far? The objects and the inheritance, how to use the graphics reference. I didn't use the graphics reference at all today. Maybe that shows. But we did talk about the hexadecimal colors and how to make sure they change every time you go through the loop. Any question? Anybody have any question or comment or anything else to say about this? I'm going to close it down. Goodbye. I'm going to stop the video. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.